Hey, what's up, guys? Jason with Jason's Big Adventures, JLS Public Safety. The latter name is more the former name. I don't really do that stuff so much anymore. This is mostly just about random outdoorsy whatever stuff that we all want to see on YouTube. So today, I finally got around to doing a little splicing together, and I'm getting ready to switch the camera here. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So a while back, I had bought some camping stuff off of a friend, and there was a couple of these little 3.3 watt 5 volt solar panels, probably to charge a security camera or something. And I've been using one of them for quite a while, and mostly just for fun. So you see I've got them sitting up here on my 1436 John boat out here in the driveway, just trying them out mainly. It's beautiful today here in southwest Missouri. Not much for clouds. The sun is insane, and it's about 60 degrees or so. So typically I use one of these when I'm out here just, for testing and fun. I've got one of these little Pocket Juice 4,000 milliamp hour battery packs. I keep in a little go bag for charging my phone and stuff. So what I did today is I basically cut the cable, and each one had one cable that had a micro USB connector. And I've cut them and spliced them together. And I tested them with my multimeter. And one panel put out 6.05 volts and about 0.62 amps. That was this morning, probably around 10:30 or so out here in the sun. It's now 1 o'clock, so we got a little better sun. Anyway, I got 0.62 amps and what I say, 6.05 volts. So I just kind of cheap cut them, twisted them, and spliced them together. And a little airplane flying hot over us. We get a lot of the Cirrus SR-22s and stuff that fly through here. So anyway, spliced them both together, and when I tested them again with the multimeter, I was still at 6.05 volts, but I was at 1.21 to 1.23 amps. I may have said watts earlier. I meant amps. Anyway, so about 1.25 amps now, which I think the math roughly works out to about a little over 7 watts. So what I've done is I've started an hour timer, and we're down to 56 minutes and 20 seconds. I just can't read today. And I've got an old Samsung Galaxy S4 out here. And as you can see, when I started, it was at 23%. So it's off right now. And the reason I use this old phone actually is because it's got this cool little actual meter. I say meter. It tells you. All the others just show that it's charging. This one actually shows you when it's off. You can just hit the button, and it will show you that you have current flow. It's accepting a charge, and that's how full the battery is. So anyway, we're at 55 minutes and 45 seconds. So I'm going to let this run for 1 hour. Let me get my fat head out of the sun here on the solar panel. I did actually find the legs for these, and I also, to put the two together, my wife's pretty crafty. So I borrowed a couple of popsicle sticks out of her craft basket and super glued them together, basically to hold these together to make it kind of one panel. So if this works out decent, I may skirmish around the Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist, because a lot of times you can find these little panels for just a few dollars, or maybe even free. Goodwill has them sometimes. People just don't know what to do with them or what they're for. And not everybody knows, the input voltages on your cell phone and things like that. So I may try to pick up a couple more and see if I can't just keep adding them in parallel to up the total wattage output. And if I can do it cheap enough, because we all know we can run out by a 100-watt solar panel at Harbor Freight or somewhere for about $100. But if I can get these cheap enough and put a handful of them together, I may see about charging a couple of smaller 6-volt, a little, like 7 amp hour batteries that I may run together in a series actually for my John boat here to run my trolling motor. Or I also run one of my little Garmin's when I'm out on the boat just for speed and mapping kind of where I'm at. That way if for some reason I get lost on the lake, which doesn't ever happen, but in the event it does, I could at least give somebody some GPS coordinates. So kind of running a little, powering a dash, so to speak. So we're going to let this run down. I'll resume this video here in a little bit, and we'll see in 1 hour's time, because I suck at math. I'm sure I could sit down, or some of you guys could probably sit down a few seconds. Tell me in 1 hour's time based off that phone, the battery size, and blah blah blah, and the current flow and whatever, exactly how much that should charge. But most of us are simple, and we just want to see real-time results. So we started at 23% at the 1 hour mark when I started the timer. It's up to 27% now. We're putting roughly 1.21 to 1.23 amps into the phone. Most modern chargers nowadays are what, 5 volt, 3 amps, something like that. So up to 15 watts. We're getting about 7-ish, 7.25 in today's sun. It is February, so summertime may net us a little better, but we'll see how it works. I do come out every little bit and kind of rotate or turn these panels so that way they're always pretty well facing the sun. And here in just a bit, these will be due to be turned a little more towards the west. So, all right, I'm gonna cut this off for now, and when the timer goes off, we'll come back out, we'll check on it. All right, guys, the 1 hour timer just went off. I thought it was going to make some noise, but apparently it did not. So it just went off. Solar panels are still aimed. We've picked up some cloud cover now since I've started this video. So remember, an hour ago we started at 23% on this old Samsung Galaxy S4. So let's see what it's done in 1 hour. We're up to 52%. Started at 23 up to 52. That's what, 29% change. It's not bad. So I think it's safe to say that, out here for a couple hours, and I'm going to go ahead and let it run. I don't have to leave to go to work until 4. It's just now 2 o'clock. So I'm going to let it sit out here and run for 2 more hours and see if we can't just fully charge this thing. And I may go ahead and just do a follow-up video. So we'll see you again here just before I leave for work in about 2 more hours. It'll be 3 hours charge time total. We're at 52% now, and we're just going to let it deal with the cloud cover. And since I know this is working now, I'll go ahead and shore that up. I'm actually thinking about taking this into this cable here and getting rid of the micro USB connector and just wiring on a female just regular like USB-A, or the big USB socket. That way I can just change the cable on the end to use USB-C, micro USB, and different USB cables to do different charging setups. Because right now I can only charge some of this older stuff. The phone I'm on now, which is a Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, takes the USB-C connector, and that won't work. And there you see the sun just come out from behind that cloud, kind of. So all right, we're going to let this run for a little bit, and we'll catch you back here in 2 hours. Okay, well, it is 4 o'clock now. We're about 3 hours into this process, and as you can see behind me and above me, it kind of got cloudy, and I didn't do the best job at keeping the solar panels coming out every little bit and turning them towards the sun. Let me switch the camera here. You can see where they're at now. So my boat is aimed about due west there at the sun now. They're still turning a little bit this way. Either way, they're still working. So let's see what happened. We had the phone down here, Samsung Galaxy S4, old school. We started at 23% at 1 p.m. It's now 4 p.m. and we're going to see what these two, 3.3 watt each, combined, 5 volt. I tested them. They are 6.05 volts and about 0.62 amps out. So together they were 6.05 volts and come out to about 1.21 to 1.23. There's a big wave of sun there. So let's see. Started at 23% 3 hours ago. What is the percentage of charge now? Uh-oh. Houston, I don't believe we've been charging. At least the last little bit. Let's see, it looks like it's charging now, and it's up to, well, it's up to 60%. And the reason I know it hasn't been charging is because when you come over and you push that button, it kind of wakes it. Even though the phone is off, it'll still wake it. You can still see now. We'll let it go back. So anyway, you push the button, this is what happens. See there, you can kind of see the bubble showing it's taking a charge. So it went from 23 to 60% in 3 hours. However, I don't know. And you may have seen there with a little lightning bolt and it come up. At some point it had come, maybe not unhooked, but it wasn't making contact, it wasn't charging. So it's kind of crazy, not good. That's okay. That gave me a baseline as to how well these are going to work. And like I said earlier, I found the legs, got the legs on. If I don't put some weight on that, the solar panels fall over because they're, they hang this way, so they're heavy. Used a few popsicle sticks that I borrowed out of my wife's craft box to basically tie them together with some super glue, and I'm using my boat oar as weight to keep them from falling forward, keep them aimed at the sky. So that's the best I can do. I'm not a math wizard, so I can't formulate the math and tell you, if it's out in the sun for X amount of hours with so many percentage of sun on it the whole time and whatever, and here's what it's going to charge. I'm more of a physical, in-person person, so that's where we're at. And I really think the highest I saw that battery earlier had hit about 63%, and it's an old battery, doesn't take a charge worth of crap. So I'd say that's outputting pretty good. My next plan, I think, is to replace this. This is just one of the cables. It's got a micro USB connector on it. And I think what I want to do from here is take this off and wire in a female USB-A, or the big USB port. So talk to you while I'm picking this up. I want to wire in a female USB port. So I figure what I'm doing here. There we go. And my goal with that is it will give me more charging options, because the phone I'm recording this video on right now, and I'm sorry, I'm kind of all over the place. I'm rushing around because I need to be leaving for work. The device I'm recording on right now is my Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, which takes a USB-C cable. So I can't actually charge my phone with these right now, but I do charge a little 4,000 milliamp hour battery pack, and that's what I charge my phone off of, like if I'm at work or I'm out camping or something like that. So I can charge it with that because it's still a micro USB cable. So not bad. Days worth of sun, you could mostly charge a cell phone, and maybe even do better than that. But I think I may try to find a couple more of those little solar panels. And like I said, I think they come off of like a home security camera, Blink or Simply Safe or whatever. I think they use those for charging those batteries. And so far, I think 2 more of those would make a pretty killer little setup. And I may even try my hand at charging like a 6-volt, a little small battery, like an SLA 6-volt, 7-amp hour little battery for an electric scooter or something like that. I may see if a couple more panels would be enough to maybe top one of those off. And if I could do that, I might get 2 of those timed together, make 12 volts, run the fish finder and stuff on my boat. So we'll see how it comes out. But that's all I got for you today. I'll catch you guys later.